As we come out, let's head back to the light world. Before we head on up to Turtle Rock, let's max out our sword, so call in our transportation. And we're going to go right to 4. This is going to drop us right outside of our house. We want to go to the bomb shop, which is in the Bizarro world, or the Bizarro version of our house in the Dark World. So the closest way to do that is just head on up to the castle, hit this portal, and then just loop right back around. Knock out these posts again. Have to have a little bit of cash in the bank for this. Need a little bit of cash in the bank to purchase the special bomb, which only becomes available after completing both the 5th and 6th dungeons. Doesn't matter the order, you just have to complete them both. Come on over and grab this bomb for 100, and be very careful, like he says. If you hit A, then that's going to arm it. So, similar to the chest earlier, we cannot run in this case, otherwise we'll lose our special bomb. It's not that big, but you can tell it's got a little more pow to it. So we're just gonna knock out these posts, go back the same way we came in. We're gonna head up to the pyramid. And you may have seen this at any point when you came down from the pyramid in the first place. This giant crack that a normal bomb can't dent. Hit A. The timer's a little misleading. It hangs on 3 for a while and then just a very quick 2-1 gone. Alright, similar to the other pond, we can throw in a couple items. First, we'll lead off with our bow to get an instant upgrade right here. This fairy is not what you would normally expect. I think she explains it to us. The cute figure. Some Hylians are into that. Anyway, upgrade to the bow. Blaze, what do we got?
Silver arrows. These are necessary to take on Ganon. You cannot beat this game without the silver arrows. Much more powerful than standard arrows.
Alright, good luck. And finally, and more importantly if you ask me, let's toss our sword right in there. You wouldn't think that this is how you can get the most powerful weapon in the game, but there you go. Alright, Blaze, level 4 sword.
Alright, the golden sword is the most powerful, topped off sword in A Link to the Past. Does twice as much damage as the tempered sword, 8 times as much damage as that crappy original sword that our late uncle left to us. Again, sorry Unc, but the golden sword, most powerful sword in the game.
Thank you very much, Blaze. I love that gold color. Especially love that it does twice the damage of that last sword. 8 times as much damage as our initial. May as well have been paper, honestly. Considerable upgrade. You can see the final spot is in the northeasternmost corner of the map. Back to Death Mountain, but in the Dark World. Before we do that, just a couple loose ends. One in particular, we need to get one last heart piece, which we missed earlier. Could have gotten this one earlier, but forgot about it. Doesn't really matter because we can't get that final heart piece until we head to the final dungeon. Or the penultimate dungeon, I guess technically speaking. Ganon's Tower is the final one, but Turtle Rock. But yeah, use your mirror right there in the Dark World. And you pop out here. It's the only way to get to this heart piece right here. Yeah, the final 2 heart pieces are up there on Death Mountain. One of them is midway through the Turtle Rock dungeon, so it's going to be a part where we exit the dungeon itself and find ourselves on a ledge. So that one's easy to miss if you're not paying attention, but yeah, let's head up to the Death Mountain area here in the Light World. We'll hit our old initial gateway to the Dark World up here at the top. And grab, we have one more item to grab as well, I guess, while we're up here, to get our inventory completely full. Outside of the couple things we're going to get in the remaining dungeons, but those are mostly just upgrades, so if you want to fill in that last slot. You know the drill by now, just to cut through. Use the mirror to pop back out on this side. And we can actually see one of the two final heart pieces as soon as we stamp down these this one post there. You can see it if we just go up a bit. Right there on that little island, you can see it taunting us. How do we get there? Well, we'll pick it up momentarily. Right now, use our upgraded glove to access this area. You gotta hit these posts in this order here. Right, up, and left. And this is our gateway back to the Dark World. And while we're up here, we'll use the Quake. My personal favorite. Love that. Just driving that sword into the ground, causing that tremor. And the entrance of Turtle Rock to reveal itself right there. Now that that's open, we can come back in just 1 second, but before we head inside, let's see if we can't grab the penultimate heart piece so that once we're inside Turtle Rock, we can get the last one and get that upgrade to our health. So there's some invisible blocks at play here. If you walk just like that, you can sidestep a lot of pretty much everything in this room. You can also use your staff to put down blocks and push them forward to give you some idea of where you can stand, but if you already know where to walk, just go ahead and do that as we did right there. Got 3 more fairies right here if you need one. I'll leave these 2 to mingle. And then pop right on out here. And then if we use our mirror, we'll be right where that heart piece is, maybe right on top of it. Where did I use it? There we go. Nice. Those rock formations there always looked like pancakes stacks with syrup going over the edges to me. I don't know if that's just me, but yeah, nothing useful in that last cave area there. The only thing we wanted to absolutely grab was that heart piece. And now we're heading into the penultimate dungeon, Turtle Rock. Recommends having some extra medicine. They give you plenty of top-offs here, but for the boss, I think in particular, they like you to have it. And we're gonna need to use a lot of magic to obviously use our staff to create little platforms we can ride on. So this is once again the fastest route to cut through Turtle Rock here while getting everything this dungeon has to offer, starting with the compass right here. And as we're headed out, if you look away, that's how the door opens, and just kind of act like you're powering up your sword, and then you can walk in. If you're staring at the eye, that wall will close back up. We're going to ride this around and get off right here. We'll need our flame wand for this section. Flame rod, or fire rod, I should say. And I like to go down in this direction down as being the fastest way to do this here. So we have a very limited window to light all of these, and given the slow speed of this platform, so I like to shoot across there, up there, to the right here. And this should buy us enough time. Just make sure you're careful when you're getting off. You don't push down to go around again, but disembark right there. We'll grab ourselves the map and a key in this area. Note where these blocks are, and that's kind of the edges of where these spiked cylinders can travel. So we got our map, we got our compass, and we have a key for this dungeon. Good start. And while we're backtracking, let's bring in Fluff for another Fluff fact about Link to the Past.
I talked earlier about additional elements the developers meant to put in the game, like additional realms and a party system. According to early concept art, the game was going to delve into sci-fi elements and take place in both the past and future, which incidentally would make the title make a lot more sense. Those ideas ultimately didn't come to fruition, but I think the finished product is still pretty solid.
Yeah, hard to argue with the results, thanks Fluff, although I would probably be interested to see how that would have played out. This enemy is called the Hoku Boku. I like the job as official enemy namer for Nintendo in the 90s. I think that would have been a fun gig. There's some chain chomps, another connection to the Mario universe right there. We need this one to get out of the way so we can push this block right there to create this chest where we can grab another key to press on and head on downstairs. If you need a fairy, good place to grab one, obviously, if you got your magic powder. I'm assuming you have magic powder at this stage in the game. I suppose, strictly speaking, it's not necessary compared to many of the other items in the game, but... And then, I don't know if we're just kind of bouncing around in these tubes, or if Link's walking through them. Not sure the science behind it, but this will spit you out in a very cool lava-filled room. Take the first opening right here. We'll hit the second one in just a bit, but yeah, take that first, the lower one. And grab another key from this Hoku Boku. Just, yeah, if you get shape-shifted there, just get smacked to revert back to Link. There we are. We'll have something to defend ourselves against those beams in just a moment, but you can see why we came down the lower tube first. We can get the big key to get that treasure of Turtle Rock. And this is gonna send us back to the start of this room so we can do it all over again. If you need some magic, again, they're very generous here in Turtle Rock with topping you off. If you're efficient when it comes to the boss, you will need to use some magic, but yeah, if you are efficient, you should be able to take him down with half of your magic meter still intact. Assuming you're going with a full tank. So now we're going to go with the higher, farther one. A couple more Hoku Bokus. Yes, I do love saying it. Just saying it to say it at this point. A lot of different ways to go, a lot of splitting paths here. We're going to go down here. You can see a wall we can bomb. Careful, a couple of these eyes are always ready to shoot you. The rest only shoot when you turn and look at them, so just face away and cut on through. And this is the point I was talking about earlier. Go over to this other door, use your magic mirror right here. And we're finally going to grab the final heart piece. With a bit of work first, a little bit of effort. Have to kill all the enemies in this room. And because they're matching our movements, just gotta be careful, shoot between the barriers here. And there you go. Made us work for every last one of them, but there we go. The final piece of heart. The only heart remaining now is the one that we'll get from beating the boss of Turtle Rock in just a moment. So we'll head back into our portal, back to the Dark World, and duck right back into the remainder of Turtle Rock here. And as soon as we come in, Create a little bridge, and we get...
Alright, the mirror shield, the most powerful shield in the game, can protect yourself from laser shots from the eyes. But yes, a very powerful shield, which you can only access some items by using it in this final dungeon.
Good call. Thank you, Blaze. Yes, we need it to protect ourselves from some of the beams. Another Hoku Boku. Made short work of him. If you go to the right, there is a whole bunch of money. Not quite the Chris Houlihan room, but yeah. Very profitable just the same. Maybe more so. I forget how many rupees Fluff mentioned were in there earlier, but... just clean up here, watch out for the little rollers. We don't need the money at this stage, so we're just gonna head on right back through. Mind the rats, apparently. That'd be a bummer way to end our adventure here. Word got back to Zelda that that's what took us out. Time our bomb here so we can access this particular key. Don't really have an angle on anything else that we can throw from behind next to that chest to hit that there. Alright, so we need to weight down a switch and get to a door here. So this is the fastest way to do it. Just go down, right, down, weight this one. Make sure you hear that sound of it actually weighting down the switch and opening the door. And then go all the way wide right here and all the way down. And then up and to the left. And this will dump us right at the open door. Otherwise, just a bunch of skull pots we can open through there. Just bolt right through here, come on down to the very bottom where we can get a key. No point in going outside there, it's just a dead end, so grab that key. If you charge up your sword, you can keep your shield stuck in a position which you're not looking at, so that's how we can get through there without getting blasted. And then just hitting these switches and moving pretty much to the middle north of this room. If you need any health, plenty of opportunities to create some fairies around here. And they'll top you off just to make sure that you're fully ready for this next boss. And as I said, we should be able to do this without having any green medicine. So let's use Gary's strategy to take this one down. Gary?
Boss beaters.
Right, Trinexx. I'm gonna shoot that ice head first. I prefer to prioritize the ice head so we don't get any ice on the ground and make things a little more slippery and tricky, but just freeze him with the fire rod. Doesn't really make sense, but once he's frozen, you gotta get 3 hits in with that golden maxed out sword. Just regular hits. Do the same thing with the other head, with the other rod, and at that point, just watch out for that head when that tail speeds up, and then just 3 regular hits from that golden sword to the midsection when he's in snake form will take him down.
Thank you very much, Gary. Another very satisfying enemy battle right there with the 2 different rods. And then this middle section right here just shows how powerful the sword is at this stage in the game. No charging necessary, just 3 hits. Down they go. And we get that final heart to top off right there. Looking good. And then Zelda's crystal right here. Let's see what she has to say. Alright, just loose ends at this point. We still need the final cane. And actually, we can get up to 70 arrows. I'm remembering. It's very strange how it's a different maximum number for the bombs versus the arrows. We can have 70 arrows, but we can only have 50 bombs. So we are going to go back to the wishing fountain. Throw in I guess another 400 rupees. We've got the cash. Not a problem. I think it's 1,400 rupees all total to max out everything. So very expensive. Then add on, just adding up all the expenses that we have, things that we absolutely have to buy. Another 500 for those flippers. So that brings it up to 1,900. We had to pay Kiki the monkey another 110. That's 2010. And I'm trying to think if there's any. I guess it was $10 for the sword tempering. So 2020. Thereabouts. Anything else that we absolutely had to buy? I'm trying to think. I think we found everything else as we speed this up. Certainly been here enough times. God, how many times I'm going to make that mistake? I'm sorry, class. Just gotta make it a point. I just want the arrows. Speed it up, you tend to. Big trouble. I like to end on a positive note when we're about to take. Did it again. When we're about to take on Ganon here. And sometimes you get the 25. I don't know why I find it so difficult. I swear. Alright. Last time. 50. 50. I want arrows. Oh, 70 arrows. There we go. Alright. And that's the max. We're all good. 50 bombs. 70 arrows. At least 2,000 rupees spent throughout the course of this Link to the Past walkthrough right here. But, alright, I think that's going to do it for us. We need to head back up to Death Mountain at this point. Need to grab that final inventory item. Not very useful in the least, if you ask me, but I'll let Blaze talk about it. Obviously, there's a reason why we put it off for this long at this stage in the game. This has been a long one, though. Thanks for sticking with us over the last, if you were watching the individual episodes or just the 4-ish hour entire class. But that's about as efficiently as you can beat this game, just in terms of timing it. Assuming you want to pick up everything. So as soon as we warp in, let's drop down right here. And you can actually come here earlier in the game, but if you don't have the magic cape, unless you have a whole mess of medicine on you to top off your health, then it becomes difficult. This is where it's nice to have a green medicine on hand, because you would think that they could at least toss you a complete refill right here, but no, they don't do that. Guess they figured you got pretty cut up in your journey to get from one side to the other, but what do we got this time, Blaze?
Alright, the Cane of Byrna creates sort of a protective barrier around Link. Not that useful in my opinion, but if you want that full inventory sheet and that full completionist run of this game, can't miss out on the Cane of Byrna.
Alright, good call. So we are out of our magic juice at this point, just getting smacked around. I'm sure there'll be a top off early on in Ganon's Tower. He seems like an understanding guy. Yeah, it definitely looks like pancakes in the Dark World, specifically with syrup pouring down the sides. Is it just me? Not really sure what it's meant to be. Not sure what most of this is meant to be, but that's alright. And we need to head back to the right to Turtle Rock again. It's It's the unfortunate part about putting off getting those last few arrows in that cane that we're not going to use, but nonetheless. Come back here and head back to the Dark World one last time. We'll complete our adventure in the busiest dungeon in the game. Largest dungeon, easily. I've got the route that I like to make it as quick as possible. Head back into the Dark World one last time. Crazy centaur creatures out and about here. But Ganon's tower looks pretty cool if you ask me. Not sure I should be saying that, but I don't know, it looks like a place where you'd put on a metal concert or something. Or a rave. We'll let the 7 maidens open up the entrance for us. And in we go. Alright, so from the start, we're going to head to the left here. Going downstairs. Grab that key right away. We're going to head to the left here. Another key that they're just lazily hiding. Like, it's very trusting, Ganon. Knock out a couple of these so we can push that and gain access to this side. Like in Maniac Mansion, just storing that key under the mat. Just use our hook shot here and follow along as we're making progress here in Ganon's tower. While we're doing this though, let's go back to Fluff for one final Fluff fact about this game, Fluff.
File this one under ridiculous, but you can use the bug-catching kid's bug-catching net to deflect Agahnim's projectiles. The timing is trickier, so it doesn't work as well as the Master Sword, but it's a heck of a way to show some serious disrespect to your enemy.
Serious disrespect, I love it, thanks Fluff. Careful with your bomb placement here. If you put it too close to the right, you'll hit both and get a double trip, and it'll reset twice, and you'll be in the same spot you were just at. Just gonna step on this orb tile right here. Gonna be another key in that chest, but we'll use this to hook shot our way across. Nothing. Again, we're not gonna be going everywhere in this dungeon, so should have a couple keys left over. Be able to save some time by avoiding some keys. Just hitting the warp spots in this order here. Go to the bottom left. And this spits us out where we want to be. Huh. Got away with it earlier when we were in the Skull Woods, but not so much there apparently. Just kind of stun these guys to get them out of our way. Got a little bit of our magic meter back. Still looking for the big top off. That'll just put us to the other side here so we can continue through. Another area where we have an invisible walkway. There is a place we can light up at the top, but actually a fun fact. Try to just clear him out of the way. So we can go up here and actually use the flame rod. But if we, while it's on the screen, this will temporarily light up the way and show us where we need to go. But if we use the ether medallion, then that'll temporarily just kind of flash the platforms that we can walk on for us for a split second. So it's useful in a room later where we can see everything all at once. We'll try it then. Top off our health at this stage. think we only had that one kind of fake death where we needed a fairy to revive us back. I think it was during the first, I think it was Helmet Sore in the Dark Palace, but bomb the floor right here on the bottom right and drop through. We have our first boss rehash. Remember these guys, the knights? We can use our arrows again, our silver arrows this time, or we can just let our golden sword do the work for us. They're a bit tougher this time, as you could tell. If we had the golden sword against these guys the first battle, then yeah, it would be over pretty quickly. The fact that these guys take multiple hits with the golden sword, which again is 8 times more powerful than what we were rocking first time we fought them, it's pretty telling. I like to try to spread the damage out a little bit so we don't have quite as much to inflict here at the end. Didn't do a very good job. Had to do a lot of extra hits there. Go through this north door to grab the big key. Very important, obviously. And to a lesser extent, they figured, hey, maybe use some bombs or arrows in that last battle, but there you go. I know that those are meant to be the Triforces, but I just keep seeing like a baseball diamond, even though it's not a diamond. But those, they look like baseball bats that are kind of going diagonally across it. Take a look next time we pass one, see what you think. Is it just me? If you need any fairies at this stage, just aggressively and violently grab one with your hook shot. Push this out of the way, and we have what may be our final item to be covered by Blaze. What do we got, Blaze?
All right, the red mail cuts damage by 75% over the original mail, so the most powerful defensive mail you can wear in the game, and my favorite color on Link.
It does look good, does pop. I like it. Yeah, just bats, like something you'd see in a clubhouse. Can't not see that. Anyway, excellent work today, Blaze. All my TAs just pulling triple, quadruple duty. All the additional things that had to be covered in this monster of a game. Compared to, I think, what we do last week. Not even gonna say the name of the game because it doesn't deserve to be mentioned in the same breath as this game, but yeah, something that could be beaten in less than 20 minutes or something like that. Gonna make short work before this room gets a little too busy with these sentries here. There we go. Looking pretty good as we head upstairs. Couple Igors waking up here. Just hit that switch before we head through to the next room. And look what they dusted off as a trap for this one. They brought the bowling balls back. I like that. Can't rush through, otherwise the timing won't work out. Never knew how to get down to this door when I was a kid. Just use your dash against those bricks. It's the only way to get over here. Is it worth it? Depends what you need at this stage in the game, I suppose. I'll certainly take the top off of the magic meter, though. Now we can hookshot our way back across. Yeah, I thought there had to be some invisible pathway or something like that. Did not occur to me to just use the force of bouncing off of that wall with those running boots, but there you go. Another instance where we just have to clear out the room of all the baddies. Another instance where we have to clear out the room of all the baddies. On ice this time. Just all the combinations, just different enemies. different surfaces, fun projectiles. We're just trying to get out of this room alive. Don't dally there. We got our next mini-boss. Someone did these guys a disservice because they don't have nearly the defense that the knights from that last little boss fight that we had going for them. Just a couple hits from our golden sword takes them down. As you see, the dirt gets a little more hectic, going out in all directions at this stage, but pretty much just brute forcing it at this point. We have the best mail, we have the best sword. And this is a good opportunity where we can use our... clear out these guys first, the whiz robes. Note that their attacks bounce right off of our mirror shield at this stage. So pull out the ether for a second, and you'll notice just for a couple seconds you can see the layout of the floor right there. So we'll use that to cross through. Just dash across this area here. Sorry, gentlemen. A few more whiz robes for good measure. They don't reposition themselves, though, like the whiz robes in other games. They're a bit easier, if anything, because they just stay in these stationary positions, only turning to attack you. Dash right through here as the floor is about to give out. Still have those conveyors on the left and right. Another instance where we need to light up all of these torches. Just want to make sure that we clear out the skulls first. We can actually get those shots off. And then hurry through to this door before it closes. Just got through in time. Alright. Do this in this exact order to make sure you don't get knocked off, and you still have time to do these as these pieces are about to... Alright, well, don't do that. It's the right idea, just the execution there at the end. We can let that one go by, but yeah, hit that bottom one, hit the other side, let this one pass by you, and there you go. Don't make the mistake for trying to go for the top ones first. Otherwise, you'll very quickly run out of floor. See, there's a lot more going on down on the bottom floors, but no special items. We have everything for, those purposes in the game at this point, so that's why we're still sitting on some keys here at the end. Just trying to get through this as efficiently as possible here in the home stretch. Use a fairy at this stage. Come close to topping ourselves off. Grab another key. And yeah, we got a little hung up there. Much needed top off of our magic right there. And this guy, once again, be very careful about getting knocked off. I like to just have this solid wall against me right here and just battle back as best as I can. Just takes one power shot plus one regular shot to get across. And a chest will appear down here that we can hook shot across to. $20, whatever, Nothing else they can really give you at this stage in the game, so. In this next room, it's just more annoying obstacles than anything. These bumpers. Got the mini helmet enemies coming through. Just once you're lined up on that ice, just run straight to the top and just about here, finally. All right, Agahnim, Gary.
Boss beaters. Right, Agahnim, part 2. It's the same strategy as the first time. It's a little trickier this time because he's got his little duplicates, but just focus on the solid one. Use that same strategy of hitting those larger balls back at him. You can even hit some of the clone balls in some cases. Sometimes it's a little bit easier, but the timing of the duplicates will begin to stagger a little bit, so it can be a little easier to avoid taking damage and getting those shots in to prioritize the hit, but it can take a while. But yeah, not too difficult a battle considering this is the penultimate battle here in Link to the Past. Good luck.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah, not that much more difficult when he's got some friends. Yeah, if anything, like Gary said, it offers you more opportunities to hit these shots back at Agahnim. Especially when he gives us those lame tiny ones that we can't do anything with. Probably just better off getting out of the way of those. Wow. So close. It is more difficult to knock one of the replicas in the actual one's direction. Come on now. There we go. Couple more should do it. Ish. Certainly helps if you remove the distance between yourself and Agahnim there. Come on now. There we go. Nowhere to hide this time, Agahnim. Aha. Just a puppet the whole time. We just swat it, stab it, get it in the bug net, bottle it up. Oh, we don't have an open bottle, do we? Alright. Hey, I didn't think you worked in the Dark World. What have I been doing schlepping all over the Dark World on my own when I could have just called you in? Ganon looks kind of drunk here in bad form, if you ask me. Just plowing right through the top. Let's just give chase, follow right in after him. Alright, truly the final boss. Gary, take us home.
Boss beaters.
Alright, the final boss in The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Ganon himself. You want to stab him repeatedly early in the battle, avoiding that fire. Once he does the circular or spiral flame, I should say, he's going to start doing his jump move. You got to make sure you get a hit in each time to ensure that he does his jump move. So he does this 4 times to take out the borders of the boss battle here. Make sure you don't fall into the pit, otherwise you gotta come back in and fight him all over again. In the final phase, just light those torches with your fire rod, stab him once with your golden sword to freeze him, and then shoot him with one of your silver arrows. It takes 4 of these arrows to take him down, and congratulations, you've beaten one of the greatest games of all time in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Thank you, Gary. Excellent work today. Same from all our TAs. Plays with the more than normal allotment of item guides, coverage there, Fluff with all those facts, and Gary bringing it home with all the boss beaters. So let's just follow those boss beaters, get our stab in here, and quickly transition to our silver arrows. 4 of these should do the trick. These lights don't stay on forever though. Got that shot in, just 1 more should do it. If we can get up there in time, yeah. Here we go. Alright, die. Try to center this. There you go. It's a good looking shot right there. It's a thumbnail shot. Alright, well now let's enjoy the ending. I'm gonna let that play out. I always thought we're just assuming Link has a nice wish in his heart right now, and not something super greedy. But yes, from this ending we know everything works out. Little Tolkien reference right there. But yes, as we enjoy the ending, a huge thanks one more time to all my TAs. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. By the way, we do one of these classes every single week. We'd love to have you aboard. Click that like button if you don't mind. It really does help us out to make future classes for you. And leave a comment. If nothing else, where do you think this game stacks up in the overall ranking of the Zelda games? Personally, I would put it, very near the top. I think it's one of the best. But I am partial, obviously. We did just do a class on this one, but it was great fun having not played this game in a very long time. There's a thief working his trade right there. Alright, that's our time though for this week. We're going to let the ending play out here, because we've certainly earned it after the last 4 hours. We'll see you next week in the same spot for next week's class, right here on Video Games 101. Oh, he's alive. That's good. Thought he was dead. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and comment on this video and click subscribe if you haven't already, as this seriously helps me to keep making great content for you. And check the description of this video to see what song is playing right now.